Ready Player None. The video game companies are all announcing sales shrinkage.
Video games, they enjoyed 2 steps forward during the pandemic and 1 step back since.
Okay, when Jack and I were kids, Yetis, like stay at home meant play video games.
So the pandemic's shelter in place was just another way of saying turn on PlayStation.
But video game company Take-Two just made it official.
It's game over for the pandemic-fueled video game growth.
Take-Two. You may not know Take-Two, the company, but they're the video game studio behind like some of the biggest video games like Grand Theft Auto,
NBA 2K,
Red Dead Redemption.
And they just announced their earnings. And if you don't include the company that they bought last quarter,
which was the gaming company Zynga,
then Take-Two sales barely rose by 3% compared to last year.
But Yetis, here's what Jack and I found fascinating when we jumped into these Take-Two earnings. It's actually way worse for the other players playing the video game.
According to the research group NPD, overall spending in the US on video games is down for 2 straight quarters overall.
Yeah, Sony's PlayStation, Microsoft's Xbox, Nintendo Switch, they all sold fewer consoles last quarter.
Electronic Arts, Activision Blizzard, for them, it was big disappointments last quarter too.
Get in the game. They're out of the game. No one's getting in the game.
And even the chip companies that make the key parts for the gaming consoles, they've announced a weakening of sales forecasts.
Now, there are 2 clear reasons for this video game over drop-off.
First, you're hanging out less with Mario. You're hanging out more in real life with Mary instead.
And number 2, inflation is punching people's wallets. You're spending less on those Pokemon cards.
Take-Two CEO summarized this phenomenon perfectly.
Honestly, he said it perfectly, Jack.
The new normal is better than pre-pandemic, but it's also softer than we would have liked.
And when Jack and I heard that quote, it really made us think of a takeaway. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over in the video game industry?
This is a story of 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Yetis, Take-Two's earnings report reflects the overall video game industry.
And the video game industry actually reflects just about all the pandemic winning industries.
Yeah, here's how Jack and I see it. The pandemic represented a huge surge. That was 2 steps forward.
But the return to normal has been 1 step back.
So the business of pandemic winners, it's bigger than pre-pandemic, but it's smaller than peak pandemic.
And if you want to see this visually, just look at the Bitcoin price chart, honestly.
It does. Pre-pandemic, a Bitcoin, that would cost you about $8,000. Peak pandemic, it would cost you about $64,000. And today, a Bitcoin will cost you $23,000.
For all the pandemic winners, it's been 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Thanks for T-boying with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for Pop Biz every day.